Welcome back to It's My Biz, the big show for small business. This week's show is all about the personal cooling systems that O2 Cool Africa supplies. With us in the Biz Beam is the owner, Howard Karan, and of course our panel of biz whizzes, Francis Wright, Thane Nimant, and Mike Say. Without much further ado, Mike, what needs doing?
Howard's business has followed a very typical pattern. Early days, found a fantastic product, brought it in, sold it incredibly well, and then thought, I can bring in a whole lot more. Now, unfortunately, Howard, you find yourself sitting with this redundant stock that you need to move as fast as possible. So step number one, find a plan to move the redundant stock.
And it's a great deal of stock, isn't it?
There's more than I'd like it to be.
Okay.
That is one of the reasons why Howard has a cash flow problem, because stock, Howard, is actually cash on your shelf. So you get rid of the stock, you can alleviate some of your cash flow problems.
So you want the cash in the bank and not sitting tied up in stock on your shelves.
I like that just-in-time system where you get the stock when you need it. And at the moment, Howard's got stock when he doesn't need it.
Point is, Howard's got the stock and it has to move. So Mike, what does he do?
Social responsibility. He finds a way to move the stock through companies. Let them buy the stock and you'll pass it on to schools, to sports clubs, etc. Build yourself a little website, do a bit of PR. That's the way, Howard, move that stock as fast as possible, alleviate most of your problems right away.
I'm presuming that solution is also, understanding his constraints as far as cash flow and what he has available right now.
Absolutely. It's very important to understand where he is right now, and Howard can do it. Just a bit of effort, a bit of work needs to go into that straight away.
Stock, cash flow, totally related, right, Thane?
When a business owner competes excessively for the cash flow of the business, effectively, you're killing the goose that lays the golden egg. Okay. And in Howard's case, I'm afraid that's what's happened.
Howard, what do you think about this?
Ideally, the correct way is to divorce your personal life from your business life.
Yeah.
But one of the problems with running your own business, being a one-man show, is that there are instances that pop up out of the woodwork which you don't expect in your personal life, which require financial, and being the owner of the business and knowing that you have the cash available, you do tend to draw it out of the business.
Sounds fair to me, Thane.
But when it gets excessive, that causes the problem. So, Howard, may I suggest the following? Draw up a private budget for yourself. These are your private expenses. Itemize those issues which you can reduce. So instead of having pizza every Thursday evening, maybe have pizza every second Thursday evening. Instead of perhaps buying a new car now, or downgrade your car. And from a business perspective, you need to do the same thing. So have a look at each item that you can reduce without affecting your business, of course, negatively. So that could be taking your clients for business breakfasts rather than a business lunch. Maybe delaying certain expenses. And by doing that, you'll find that your cash flow will improve dramatically. You need to sweat the small things.
Let's talk about how the stock got here in the first place. There was some sort of bad decision-making somewhere.
What one has to be careful of when expanding your product lines is not every idea is an opportunity. So there's specific research that needs to be done, not just speaking to procurement managers, but speaking to the man on the street to see if they will actually buy what you're going to bring in. And often the second line of product will harm the first line or vice versa. So there's intensive research and homework to be done before you start expanding on your product line in a business.
Yeah, but entrepreneurs get so excited, isn't it? You get such amazing success with your first few products, and I suppose you just assume it's just going to keep going, right? Huh?
Correct, Andile. It looks very good at the beginning when the business is doing much better than you projected to do. And then you start believing that the way to increase your turnover is to increase the range. And that, unfortunately, sometimes not the way to go.
Passion before prudence, I'd say.
You do need to increase your range because we need to find something that isn't as seasonal as your bottles. These sell fantastically well during summer, and then you battle your way through winter. Now you need to go out there and find a product to fill in the gap. Get on the internet, do some research, set up a kind of profile for yourself through sites like LinkedIn and maybe your website, and start researching a new product. It's out there somewhere, Howard, and I know you can sell it.
I like how you bring in corporate identity.
Unfortunately, the marketing material you're using has been designed by your printers, I would imagine. And let's not confuse printers with designers. You need a proper designer to come in, look at your stuff, and give it that lift up. and it's there for you.
Let's be fair, there's things he's doing really well, even financially, right there?
When there's a cash flow problem, Howard hasn't ignored it. He's maintained his creditworthiness by realizing there's a problem, going to the people that money is owed to, creating a plan to pay them back at terms that are convenient to him and to them. But most importantly, what Howard has done fantastically well is he's kept to that plan. And he's maintained his creditworthiness.
And you've kept things ticking along very nicely, haven't you?
I've contacted the people that I owe money to. I've explained my situation. And I consistently pay a smaller amount, which I have found does definitely keep the wolf from the door.
Wow. And you mentioned earlier that he started great. He's got quite an amazing admin platform for this business, hasn't he?
He does, and I think he's found a very good model in that some of his clients import directly through O2Cool. So that is a great business model, and I think that can be expanded upon.
Mike, how many times have you received a gift you didn't like? But what's not to like about this?
Andile, this is a corporate gift in the making.
Yeah?
Company name across here, people walking around, spraying themselves,
I think so.
sipping from the bottle,
Yeah.
into the gym, on the beach. Howard, out there to the companies, you'll sell millions of these.
Seasonality is a challenge for this business, isn't it?
I don't want Howard to focus so much on the problem of seasonality. It is a problem, and there are fixes to the problem, but there are also things that can be done with this product in winter. Sell it to travel agencies who are sending people to Israel or Miami.
Isn't that something all entrepreneurs do, really? We focus on the one thing that's not working.
Yeah, entrepreneurs tend to get pushed into a box by focusing on the problem. Part of entrepreneurship is to think out of the box, think laterally, find solutions around variables that's impacting on your business.
Right. So he's done this at the beginning. He's got this amazing deal to distribute this amazing product. He has to take it all the way now.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, we all know that behind everything we do here on It's My Biz stand the amazing people who make things happen. I'm talking about Nedbank. It's time to hear some truly valuable entrepreneurial advice in our Nedbank Biz Tips, the weekly slot where Sibongiseni Ngunze of Nedbank passes on some real biz wisdom.
We've been spending some time talking about cash flow management. That's because it's the most important aspect of running your business. It's very important if you want to maximize your profits as well as your cash flow that you carefully check the pricing structure of your product or service. You then need to understand your inputs, your distribution costs, and the costs of actually providing that service to your customers. Then you set your prices accordingly. The other thing you need to understand is the dynamic of your market. How are your prices relative to your competitors? This will help you understand whether your customers will be willing to buy at your price.
That's certainly advice that every entrepreneur could use.